We go to the NFL.
Why?
Did you know that the NFL had a DEI hiring program?
What?
Yes, its criterias,
Well,
content and character,
okay,
experience,
okay,
and integrity.
all right.
No, not really.
What?
It was simply because you are either black
And I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.
or a woman, and it just got canceled.
Brilliant!
I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this, yes, I said women,
A bullshit?
as in women coaches,
Bullshit.
in the NFL. I know, make it make sense, but it's what's next. What's up, everyone? Jazz Berganzo, what's next? Your daily dose. Hope you guys are feeling good today on this Wednesday. Well, we're going to talk about the NFL. Yes, I know the season doesn't begin until September, but there's always something going on, you know. We haven't had, preseasons and OTAs and, and what have you. But we just got past the draft. And, of course, we saw that wonderful draft where Deion Sanders' son, Shadur, got picked in the 5th round because of racism, even though the first 3 picks of the draft were black. Anyway, did you know that they had a DEI hiring program? Yes, that program that was based off of integrity, experience, and content of character. And if you believe that, I got a bridge in Brooklyn that I can sell you for $1. No, it was simply based off of being either black or a woman. And like I said in my intro, yes, women, as in women coaches in the NFL. I know. 1, stop laughing. And 2, please make it make sense. Anyway, that wonderful program that they had, it just got canceled because it failed to do what it was supposed to do. All the above. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. And here we go. This comes out of Outkick. NFL puts the brakes on DEI accelerator program after obvious failings. The NFL Accelerator Program, the NFL Accelerator Program, a DEI exercise that gave minorities and women more exposure to the league's owners than their white male counterparts, was an abject failure the league is reluctantly admitting now. The acknowledgement came implicitly Tuesday amid the news that the 2025 version of the Accelerator Program is being canceled. So the May session, originally scheduled for next week for minority and women coaches, again, I know, stop laughing with the women coaches, I know. And the December session for minority and women in front offices executives will not take place. NFL to reimagine its program. The NFL instead is pausing its program to give the league executives time to reimagine the Accelerator Program. Quote, every offseason, we take a step back to reflect on the positive areas for improvement of our programs and assess the ways that make them more impactful, while they're not trying to ban the tush push. Anyway, NFL Executive Vice President and Chief Administrative Officer Dasha Smith said in a statement, this year we assessed and identified the additional opportunities within Accelerator, including combining our coaching and front office programs to ensure Accelerator continues to be as impactful as possible. Yes, the hell with experience. What's between your legs and what color are you? Quote, we have decided to hold the next iteration of the program in May of 2026. This will allow us to reimagine the program, reflecting on feedback and engaging with stakeholders so we can ensure a successful program in the future. We're steadfast in our commitment to strengthen our talent pipeline and create an environment that reflects the diversity of our fan base. The NFL strikes to be a unifying force. You sure about that? Okay. We are confident in the next evolution of our efforts to take one step closer to that goal. Wow, a lot of big words. Real fancy, dress it up. Your program's shit. Accelerator is inclusion by exclusion. Translation, the Accelerator program in the NFL is put in practice 6 times starting in 22. It did not accomplish enough to continue its current format. Simple enough. The program put the NFL owners face-to-face with the future minority and female candidates for coaching and front office vacancies. No such program existed for white male coaching and front office candidates, a fact that left some sounding disappointed when they were not included. And no other media company is likely to admit this, and the NFL definitely won't. But the truth is that the league was trying to improve its diversity within its ranks of head coaches and general managers by running an exclusionary program that prevented white guys from participating. So inclusion via exclusion. That apparently is not the reason that the program has been temporarily halted. Its failure to tie the fact that it did not accomplish its intended purpose of getting more minorities and women hired. Yes, it simply backfired. Two candidates, general manager and only one head coach, were hired by a club owner after participating in the program. Ray Carthon was hired by the Tennessee Titans as a general manager. Aaron Glenn was hired by the New York Jets to be their head coach. But here's the thing. Carthon met with Titans owner Amy Adams Strunk, and the December 22 Accelerator program was hired in January 23 and then got fired in January 25. So much for testimonial results. Glenn, meanwhile, participated in the program in May and didn't get hired by the Jets until January. Was it because the Lions had been dominant team with 36-10 record the last 3 seasons, and Glenn, the team's defensive coordinator, was significant reason for that fine run? In other words, did Glenn get hired by the Jets because he did great work or because he was black? You be the judge. Goodell continues to embrace DEI because, of course, he does. It should be said that the NFL's public stance will continue to advocate on behalf of diversity, minority hiring over the hiring of white men. We got into the diversity efforts because we felt it was the right thing to do for the National Football League, even though the majority of the league is black. Commissioner Roger Goodell said in his annual Super Bowl news conference, and we're going to continue these efforts because we've not only convinced ourselves, but I think we've proven ourselves that it does make the NFL better. So we're not in this because of a trend or getting the trend out of it. Yeah, it's because of a trend. Stop. Our efforts are fundamental trying to attract the best possible talent in the NFL to the NFL, both on and off the field. I said previously, and we see that. We see how it benefits the National Football League, and so we'll continue these efforts. I think it's clearly a reflection of our fan base, our communities, and our players. All that being said, the Accelerator program pause is a loss for DEI advocates, even as Goodell has spoken that he's tightening the league's embrace of DEI. The deed here speaks volumes. The fact of the matter is that for a league that is a multi-billion-dollar league, the Super Bowl, which is seen by over 100 million people every year, of course, my Philadelphia Eagles just won the Super Bowl recently. Yes, I know. I like it. Anyway, but for a league that is overwhelmingly minority in its players, the league fan base, which is vast, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, man, woman, boy, girl, it doesn't matter. It runs the gamut. Now, we've seen what this nonsense has done. And it all goes back to the genesis that is one Colin Kaepernick. Yes, that wonderful, wonderful quarterback that led the 49ers to a Super Bowl, lost his job, became irrelevant, and then, of course, to become relevant again, he took the knee during the national anthem, which, of course, was a slap in the face of the military and the country and the fans. But he didn't give a fuck. It was all about him, because of so-called systematic racisms and what have you. But anyway, we're not going to rehash that nonsense because he's a clown, he's a joke, and, of course, he's out of the league and no one gives up anymore. But that has given birth to this. Because prior to that, there was no DEI program. You got hired based off of criteria like experience, coaching, whether you were coaching in the NFL, in whether defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, line coach, special teams, what have you. You got drafted out of college. Heck, even what you did in high school as a coach, you put your time in. You paid your dues, and you got noticed because of it, and you gained experience because of it, and you got hired because of it. No. We can't do that anymore. No. Those were the old ways. The new way is, what color are you? And now, whether you're, a woman. Yes, I know. This may sound a little sexist, but the fact of the matter is that women coaches are a joke. It's an absolute joke. I'm sorry. If that makes me a Neanderthal, if that makes me a knuckle dragger, so be it. But the fact of the matter is that no woman has ever played in the NFL. No woman has ever played in college football. No woman has ever played, except for the very, very few exceptions of women kickers and women trying to play the offensive defense in high school and in college, which of course that just, blew up in their faces. That's it. That's all you have. So to me, basically you're just hiring women just to hire women. On that case, that's all you're doing. Now when it comes to the male coaches, yeah, why not expand the accelerator program for everyone? Where are the Asian coaches? Where are the Spanish coaches? I like to know that. Being Hispanic myself, where are the Spanish coaches? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. All that matters is, how good of a coach are you? Did you put your time in? Do you have the experience? That's all I give up about. But no, the NFL's like, no. We can't go on that anymore. What color is your skin and what's between your legs? And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching as always. And we'll see you next time. Peace.